Exposed videos. One of the worst kinds of videos on YouTube. And I'm making one. Now, the reason why I'm making this one is because this isn't just petty YouTube drama. This is just one that makes no fucking sense, first of all. And then this also is going to be one that's just not really that funny. It's not going to be one of those funny exposed videos where they just crack jokes. Might crack a few jokes every once in a while, but that is more than likely not going to be the case. So, let's get on with the exposed. I would like to start off with some background knowledge. SWEG is a streamer on YouTube, mainly streaming Battlefront, but since Battlefront 2 is coming to a close, or mainly ended, he will be switching off to different type of games to play. He will be streaming Apex Legends, probably Fortnite, the worst game ever made, and probably other games. So that's pretty much all you need to really know, except for the fact that he's a man, and that he's apparently in high school. I know that he's somewhere in that age range, but you don't want to do that much. I know, because he's a weirdo. I have dyslexia, so bear with me. SWEG is a dick. He has a bias for his mods. If his mods fuck up, he doesn't mention it. If a rando fucks up, they get a timeout immediately. Now we're gonna move into the personal things that he has said to me and harmed me in many ways, and shown that he's just a dick to people. Okay, he has muted me in a chat of 8 people, and I was the first one in the party. This wouldn't be a problem if he just owned up to the fact that he muted me because of my squeaker voice. You can probably hear it, but he didn't mute anyone else. He didn't own up to it. He would reply with, I just needed less talking, and didn't care that you're a squeaker. That clearly is disregarded, considering that he only muted me out of a group of 7. Out of a group of 7 that I was in, mainly 8 people, so counting me into that would be 8. Basic math. But he didn't mute anyone else, only muted me, which is kind of suspicious, considering that I was the only squeaker in the group. Everyone else wasn't. And he never just owned up to it and said, like, I just muted you because you were a squeaker. Because at least then, I would have given him respect back. Because if you just own up to it, and most squeakers would do this as well, if you own up to muting them because you're a squeaker, they'll be fine with it, or they'll hate you a little bit less because you have the balls to own up to it. But he never did. He never had the balls to own up to it, which is kind of a dick move, considering that you're muting someone for their voice, all then lying straight to their face. It's like fucking blocking someone because they're white, and then saying, "Oh yeah, I didn't block you because you're white. I blocked you because I needed less people on my friends list." Then what was the fucking point? You could just tell him, yeah, I didn't want a white person on my friends list or some shit. Any way that would have been inexcusable from any way. It doesn't plus help the fact that in that group of 8, I was the person talking the least. Quite literally, everyone else was talking. Everyone. He was talking, the other 7 people in the chat were talking at a constant speed. Most of them were talking more than I ever was. I was talking once, like, maybe 10 minutes. To mute you because I needed less talking is invalidated, considering that, I talked the least. Once again, let's do another hypothetical. It's like I need everyone to stop talking. Well, then the person who never talks, the person who talks like once upon a time, and then he only talks when he gets called on. Oh, then everyone else was talking, and you fucking called kid out for talking. Like, no. You can't. This is a dick move. The person who's not talking, you shouldn't punish him for talking, yet he barely even talked. It just makes no sense, now doesn't it? Another flaw and hole in his logic, which majority of his logic has a whole bunch of holes. Looks almost like a coconut. Whole bunch of holes. He's called me a hater in the past. He's literally said I'm a hater because I say in a joking way, SWEG sucks. Which as a joke, and it was a running gag. It was a running gag. I would say SWEG sucks the second I would join a party, or a second SWEG would fuck up. Mainly. SWEG would fuck up, and I would reply with SWEG sucks to make a joke. And he would reply with okay Lego, which it became one of his main catchphrases at this point. Okay Lego and okay buddy. I started that. So, and if I was a hater, I would be saying SWEG sucks, then acting like we were friends. That's not what haters do, which makes no sense in his arguments. Judging by that fact that I would act like we're friends, I'm not a hater. By that own logic, because the definitions of haters are people who, a person who greatly dislikes a specific person or thing. That wasn't me. Saying SWEG sucks in a joking manner whenever he would fuck up or whenever I joined the party, and then immediately act like we're friends because we were friends. That's not hating. That's not being a hater. A hater would be, you suck so bad, and then never saying anything else besides anything hateful to him. They wouldn't act like friends because they wouldn't have interest of being friends with you, because they hate you. Hence the name hater, because they hate you. But that wasn't me. So that's one of the second problem, is because he would call me a hater. He doesn't know logic, first of all, which if you don't know logic, don't act like you do. But I was saying that the game Battlefront 2 is shit, because it is. It's a bad game. And I play it because I like the game. It doesn't excuse the fact that it's shit. It is bad. It's like if you play E.T. for the Atari 2600, the worst game ever made, and you like it. And it's not you excusing the faults or you being a hypocrite saying that the game sucks, but you still like it. No, it's because you like it, but you can still acknowledge its flaws. If I say Battlefront 2 sucks ass, and I like the game, that's just me saying this game sucks ass and it could have been worked on more, but I still like it. Does not invalidate my entire argument, but he thought so. So yeah, that makes no fucking sense. And also he would talk about the logic of me saying SWEG sucks, as it isn't funny. But it's funny to me, making it so that it's funny. Not realizing that comedy is subjective. Not realizing that what he finds funny, a lot of other people won't find funny. As a quote from Joker, one of the best movies of our time right now.
I do. And I'm tired of pretending it's not. Comedy is subjective, Murray.
So, therefore, he's invalidating my argument by using a logic that makes no sense. By him saying it's not funny, so therefore you shouldn't be saying it, and therefore it isn't a joke, that doesn't invalidate anyone. That's still a joke. A joke is something to be entertained by. A joke is quite literally something to distract you, entertain you, have a laugh. That is a joke. And that's what it did. For me, and for a lot of other people in the chat, because that was funny. And plus, the exchange of Lego SWEG sucks, okay buddy, from SWEG. that would make it funny. But no. He says it's unfunny, even though that it's funny to me, therefore making it funny. So, and jokes are jokes. They may be unfunny, but they are still jokes nonetheless. Then let's get into the main juicy part on why I hate. Well, yeah, now I hate him. Now I hate him, and that's why I'm doing an exposed video on him. But so, one of his mods started talking shit to me afterwards, after I would reply with that stuff. He was talking shit for nearly 30 minutes. And I would just reply with the ninja quote of, "The fuck you say to me, you little shit." Which is a joke. And then after 20 minutes of him still talking shit to me, and me barely replying to him, because SWEG said, "Stop it, both of you." After that, like, 10 minutes of that going on, of him talking shit to me, and I go, "The fuck you say to me, you little shit," and replying with other mean jokes, I stopped. I stopped for 20 minutes. For 20 minutes of, but he was still talking shit, and I wasn't replying. And quite literally, he never stopped. He didn't stop up until SWEG had to ban him. And, well, it wasn't really a ban, it was just more of a timeout, so yeah. It was just a tiny smack on the wrist. So, but I told the mod to stop bringing me up. If you bring me up again, I'll have to disrespect on what SWEG said, and I'll have to disobey what he said, as me saying I will have to stop ignoring you because you keep bringing me into the fucking argument that I didn't want to be in anymore. Well, then SWEG told me to stop, not his mod. He told me to stop, even though I was the one getting harassed, getting yelled at by one of his mods. His mod got virtually no punishment. He got a smack on the wrist for, he literally got put in timeout for like a minute, somewhere around there, because after he told me to stop and him got put in timeout, he quite literally started speaking again. Quite literally a minute after I was done, and after he told me to quote GTFO, enough is enough. Is that something you say to someone who is being yelled at and who is being targeted by one of your mods? Keep in mind, your mod was non-stop talking shit to two people, me and another person in his live chat. Two people in his live chat were being harassed by the mod, and he decides not to punish the mod as much as he should have. He decides to punish the victim of the scenario. He is a victim shamer. He blames the victim for first of all stopping what he did. If a police officer tells you stop moving your belt, and you stop moving your belt, but someone else keeps moving their belt, and then they put you in handcuffs and leave the other one free, that's just you can't do that because the other one didn't stop. That's just not something you should do. But that's what he did. And after he put his mod in timeout, he hid me from the chat. If you don't know what hiding in YouTube chat is, or any live streaming chat is, it's basically you click on the button and it says hide, so that person, they can still message in the chat, but their messages don't appear for anyone else, and they don't appear for him. If he clicks out of the YouTube, if he clicks out of the stream and clicks right back on, they'll be gone. Now, he only hid a few people, as far as I'm telling him, the scene. Full-on haters, like straight up people who would say nothing nice, other than me. The guy who would joke around and got victim blamed. The guy who did virtually nothing wrong in the scenario got hidden because his moderator had a temper tantrum. Can you see the problem here? But I got the worst punishment out of the three people actually, in that argument. His mod got a bare slap on the wrist. The other person in the argument didn't get any punishment, which I am thankful for, because they were doing virtually nothing wrong. Other than me gets punished. The harshest punishment. He punishes me the harshly, even though I did virtually nothing wrong. I do know that it takes two to tango, but if you're gonna punish someone, the worst amount of punishment, punish your mod the worst, because he kept on going. He kept on going with the argument for nearly 20 minutes straight. I stopped replying. I stopped even messaging to him. And he kept going. He kept going, told him to stop, and I get punished and told, enough is enough, you need to stop. Even though he's the one who was still going on. I was merely defending myself, quite literally, where he was harassing me. It's not like me and his mod, which I'm just gonna say his name out because I'm tired of hiding it, Fernie, he didn't give us the same punishment. As I said before, he said, quote, Lego, just GTFO, enough is enough. Yet I literally said, leave me alone in the chat, when he told me to GTFO. Think of that. Just think of that for a second. A kid says, stop bullying me. And the principal of the school punishes the person who's being bullied, and the bully gets no virtual consequences. The principal sees that the bully's punching him, beating the fucking shit out of him, maybe broke one of his bones. But the kid gets more punishment for saying, stop. Imagine that shit. And it's happened before in other schools. I know that for a fact. But imagine that shit. Just think about that. Instead of SWEG doing the responsible thing and giving the man who was harassing me, and also another user, because the other user was just fucking merely just saying, yo, what the fuck, stop. Oh, and he just kept on spamming. But instead of him doing the responsible thing and giving the person who was harassing me a punishment, he gave him no punishment. Virtually no punishment whatsoever. He gave him a timeout, which is quite literally like putting a kid in a corner for bullying someone. It's quite literally like, this kid has bullied everyone in the fucking school, but let's put him in the corner for 2 seconds. Okay, you're done now. Like, that's the virtual level of punishment he got. He quite literally got sat in timeout for 2 seconds and immediately was allowed to go right back on. Even though he was harassing 2 users in the chat, you didn't fucking look. You didn't even harm them. And the fact that multiple times he's called me a hater. If I was a hater, then why would I show up to the stream acting like we were friends? Yeah. Oh, I'm repeating myself now, but I'm too far gone now. But no, SWEG and his mod Fernie are haters. No matter what I did to stop the arguing, I'm at fault for defending myself, and Fernie was just not letting up. He would keep arguing and no punishment from SWEG. And funny thing, I haven't said SWEG sucks in months. In months. So count them. Count that. I've tuned into his streams nearly monthly. Nearly 2 to 4 times a week. Nearly each time he streams, I'm there. And for the last few months, I haven't said SWEG sucks. So therefore, I'm not a hater because I'm not hating on him. But he calls me a hater even though that's been the past where I've been saying SWEG sucks a lot. So you're calling someone a hater for them saying, dude, you fucking suck. That's like going up to it's like being angry at a Dark Souls player who religiously plays the game, saying, dude, you fucking suck, get better, I'll help you get better, or anything along those lines, and getting angry at him and banning him. That's quite literally the choice. He literally is a dickhead. First of all, let's get that out of the straight. So in this man's ape brain, he can't remember anything that happened in months. Where I never said SWEG sucks, but no, I'm constantly hating on him. Grow up hair, SWEG. Like what I did. If you don't know, I was in a group where I got harassed on the daily. In a group where the people who I somewhat called friends would make fun of me constantly. It'd fucking belittle me till I felt nothing. Till I felt like nothing. Still kind of in that situation where I fucking mishear someone, they call me a fucking dumbass and fucking clear my ears, even though they fucking said what I said. But if SWEG thinks a man saying SWEG sucks in a joking manner, then wondering how he would deal with my friends. Never being made fun of constantly, yelling at you constantly, and insulting you constantly. SWEG hasn't experienced what I have. And he's gonna say he's constantly hating on me. Dude, I have felt constant more pain. Now it may seem like I'm literally discrediting all of his hardships that he's went through, but I'm not. If you're gonna walk up to say to someone who has been in more hardships than you have, and you know it because you were a part of that same group and you left it because of that exact same reason, you would know the pain I've went through. You would know not to say, oh yeah, you're constantly hating on me, yet you don't know what the fucking definition is, and or has experienced some stuff that I've had. See, look, he has the conscious mind of being, when he was in that group, of sounding like the others. He sounded like the others that didn't make fun, and so they didn't make fun of him. There was nothing to make fun of him for. But I didn't sound like the others. I sounded like a squeaker, and I still do. But I got constantly made fun of. Like, every day I would play with him, I would expect to be made fun of 50 times in just an hour span. So, yeah. I even made a different account the next day for his stream. And I told him to check his messages on PS4, and it was under Lego Shy Guy. And guess what? I got immediately hidden from the chat. Immediately. And it's not like SWEG would have known. Because when you hide someone, when you ban someone, when you put someone in timeout as a moderator, it tells the streamer that. It tells the creator who is streaming, it tells them this person has been put in timeout. This person has been hidden. This person has been banned. It tells them that. So SWEG either knew that his moderator fucking hid me 2 times, or he did it himself even though realizing I wasn't a hater. Because if I was a hater, I wouldn't be showing up for all the streams and having fun and wanting to have fun. A hater doesn't do that. So yeah, SWEG is a garbage human being who treats people that make jokes like shit and says that they're haters when bans them even though they did nothing wrong, well then punishes them even though they did nothing wrong, barely punishes his mods who do wrong. They could literally murder someone in the fucking chat and they could literally know it and it won't punish them. That's how fucking badly SWEG hoards his mods and think that they don't deserve any punishment. And also he's a victim shamer. He is a douchebag. He is a non-intellectual, which that isn't really in the part, but he acts like he does. He acts like he knows what things are. He acts like he knows what the definition of hater is, but he doesn't. And he acts like I'm a hater, yet he should know that I'm not even qualified as a hater. So that brings an end to the SWEG is an idiot retard drama. Unless he just makes a commentary or he talks about this on stream. And in which case, tell me in the comments, because I will not be checking his streams from now on because he's such a dickhead. I hope this makes an impact in which people can realize his fucking dumbassery and he can learn from his mistake. It doesn't really feel too good now when you get targeted, don't ya? Now I'm going to send it off with a final farewell message of SWEG sucks.